What's up, guys? Chris here to give my better late than ever Mayweather versus Canelo afterthoughts. Should have done it on Saturday night, but got in kind of late and just didn't get around to it. It's kind of burnt out. Plus, I had some other fights to watch on DVR. Yesterday was busy, so today had time finally. Anyways, as for the fight itself, you know what? I'm sure you've read plenty about it, heard plenty about it, watched plenty of the YouTube videos about it. So what's really left to say? In all honesty, Floyd Mayweather did what most people, a lot of people expected, if not even better. I'll say this, for a Mayweather fight, it was pretty entertaining. It was about as competitive as a one-sided fight as you can have. Because let's be honest, you can make a case of Mayweather won every round. But Canelo was in the fight for most of the fight. Maybe not in the latter half. It was pretty obvious that he didn't really have much of a chance at all. But early on, it looked like maybe, he was landing some shots, some jabs, but just not enough to really win the rounds because Mayweather was doing better. Everyone said, including myself, Mayweather should try to put him against the ropes. Go to the body. Hindsight's 20/20, but let's be honest. There's nothing that Canelo could have done outside of landing a shot or a counter in an exchange, which there were more than a few of, that could have gotten to win this fight. No matter what strategy he would have worked, if he would have came in at 154, weighed in at 154, I don't think any of that would have made a difference. Floyd's just a better fighter, and he wasn't going to lose to Canelo. So that's pretty much it, But it was a good fight for the most part. There were exchanges. There were some exciting moments. Just seemed like Floyd always got the better of him. And even when Canelo did land some pretty good shots, Floyd seemed to shake him off and just get back in his rhythm. So what can you say? Mayweather does it again, easily. Proves once again he's the best pound-for-pound fighter in the sport. Best of this, era, I guess. I used to think it was Roy Jones, but can't really make that case anymore. He's one of the greatest of all times. I know some people aren't a fan of him. I'm not a fan of him, but I appreciate his skills and his talent and how good of a boxer he is. People will always that aren't fans or don't like him, make a case about his opposition or who he's fought, but, you can argue about whether he's one of the best of all time, but you always hear people say, I wish I could have watched Sugar Ray Robinson fight in his prime, or Ali, or Roberto Duran, Salvador Sanchez. Some people have seen these fighters fight in their prime. Even younger people, I wish I could have watched Tyson fight in his prime. Obviously, Mayweather's a fighting like Tyson, but you're going to be able to go back. It's like when I watched Jordan play in his prime. One day you're going to be able to go back and say, yeah, I saw this guy fight in his prime, and he was great, especially defensively. Top of the class. As for Canelo, good learning experience. Didn't take too bad of an ass whooping. He seemed demoralized towards the later rounds of the fight, but even in the 12th, he went for it. He didn't just lay there and just not try. He went all out, but just once again wasn't enough. But he proved he's not on Mayweather's level, but he's not a joke or all hype. I don't think that at all. I think he'll learn from this and just go on to do bigger and better things. Dude's only 23, not even in his prime yet, regardless of how many fights he has. So, as for what's next for Mayweather, first let's get to the co-main event of the night. Danny Garcia, once again, proved me wrong by getting the unanimous decision over Lucas Matisse. Early on, I was surprised that Garcia was able to stand up to Matisse's power, and I wasn't surprised that, he was able to land his shots and sting Matisse, but Matisse never really seemed really hurt until he finally got knocked down later in the fight. But once that eye started swelling, he comes out for the round, I'm like, ooh, that's bad. And it was like a bee sting how fast that thing swelled up. And I told the people I was with, I'm like, man, this fight is over. He's not even going to get out of this round. They're going to stop it. Fortunately, they didn't. Whatever Matisse's cornermen were doing with the eye there, I'm like, what are they doing there? Where's the inswell? But whatever that shit was they were doing, it worked. That swelling actually went down towards the latter couple rounds. But yeah, I said before this fight, Matisse figured he would knock him out, but I said I wouldn't be shocked if Garcia won a decision, because the dude has proven me wrong time and again. He did it here. This was by far his best performance against his most dangerous or best opponent to date. Showed speed, showed power. A couple things that bother me about this fight. I got to make note of it because I was bitching about it during the fight. A lot of holding on Garcia's part, and a lot of low blows, and not very many, more than a couple warnings for low blows from Tony Weeks. The holding was really frustrating me. Whenever Matisse got close, it seemed like Garcia would hold him. I mean, I'm not saying you got to take a point away, but at least warn the guy. You know, don't let him grab every time. It's frustrating to watch. And as for the low blows, he even made a case at one point weeks that Matisse pushed his head down. Don't threaten to take a point for a low punch if you're not going to do it until way late in the fight when it's blatantly obvious. And you had to do it. Your hand was forced at that point. Either way, don't think those things made much of a difference ultimately. And even with the eye, sure, it changed the momentum of the fight. Matisse obviously looked out of sorts. He was bothered by it, you know. He still looked like the same fighter before, earlier in the fight. But Garcia, you know, he's the one that made that eye swell up. So you got to give him credit. And as for being able to get away with the holding and stuff and the low blows, I guess, you know, if you can get away with it, do it. Even though I didn't like watching it. But it doesn't take away from Garcia's performance. Great performance. Good performance. Hell of a fight. Best fight of the night by far, as expected. And a really exciting finish to the fight. And E.J. Smith, Carlos Molina. Everybody knew stylistically this was going to be an ugly fight. It was. It sucked. Terrible fight. Anyways, that's what's next for Mayweather. Why not Garcia? You know as well as I know he doesn't have a chance. Yes, he's proven me wrong time and again. Do I think he would do it against Floyd? No. But why not? I mean, he could move up. I don't think Floyd's that much bigger than Danny Garcia at welterweight. And he's still unbeaten. Champion. He beat a guy that everyone thought was going to, not everyone, but most people thought was going to take his head off. And who else is out there at the 147, 154 range that is either A, more deserving, or you would rather see against Mayweather? Do you really want to see a Cotto rematch? You know, Martinez ain't going down to 154 to fight him. And at this point, he'll get smoked. Pacquiao, never going to happen. Always said it would never happen. And it's not going to. Unless Maidana knocks Broner, decapitates Broner, that's only opponent that would seem more intriguing at this point. Because we know if Broner beats Matisse, or Maidana, he ain't fighting him. So, I don't think Garcia stands a chance. But I think he deserves the fight if Floyd decides to give him the opportunity next. Plus, who wouldn't love to see the press conferences? I'm not a big fan of Floyd trash talking or Angel Garcia's at all. But those guys are really good at getting shots in. And it'd be an interesting battle or war of words between those camps building up to the fight. It would make for a much more entertaining all access on both sides, not just one, on both sides, and press conferences. Real quick. I went and saw the fight at the theater. $18 for a ticket. First time going. I gotta say it was well worth it. Now, my friend told me once we got in there, he's like, we should have just paid $9, you know, or however much a regular ticket is, and just snuck in here, you know, or just walked in. It's like they were checking. We should have done that. But either way, I still feel like I got a good deal. Watched all the fights. That place was pretty much packed. Not completely sold out, but pretty damn close. It was hard to get a gauge of who more people were there for. Mayweather, Canelo. I'd say it was split of the people that are actually cheering. There was a lot of people that weren't making a lot of noise, like they thought they were in a regular movie. That wasn't us at all. We were talking, you know, as if we were watching a regular fight at a bar or inside the house. That's the other thing I liked about it. I watched a lot of fights at bars. Mixed martial arts, not boxing. They don't show boxing in a lot of bars around me. And you can't really hear the commentary, but at least when you're at the movie theater, even when you're talking because of the sound system, you can hear the commentary as well. So that's another benefit. But yeah, I would recommend it. For the price, got all 4 fights, you know, save some money. I mean, I guess if me and my friends would have went in on it, we could have paid for it the same way. But I like the experience, you know, big screen. You're not going to miss anything. It wasn't in high definition, but still, it's probably the only really complaint you could make, and this wasn't a complaint to me at all. So I'd say if you're ever contemplating going to watch a big fight at the movie theaters, I would highly recommend it. Plus, cool atmosphere. A lot of people there. Anyways, that's it for now. Like I said, you guys have probably talked all about this fight elsewhere. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere else. But if you have any thoughts left in you that you want to talk about, or any comments responding to anything I said, feel free to, you know, let me know. Or what you think next should be next for Mayweather. If you think Garcia is a good next opponent, and if not, who would you like to see Floyd fight next realistically? And if not, who would you like to see Garcia fight next? Anyways, that's it for now. I talked about this event a lot more in depth on this weekend Science and Violence radio show. I'll put a link to that in the information part of the video. But until next time, I'm out.